eNerds as a managed services provider currently looks after approximately 5,000 endpoints, and we have approximately just over 100 customers. Crypto Alert is a proprietary piece of software that we developed in response to the number of infections that we were finding our clients were experiencing. It gets installed on a client's file server, or any server for that matter, that's got a large amount of files that are important to the business. And if there is an encryption, it immediately alerts us to that fact, which then enables us to be far more proactive. We contact the end user and immediately notify them, and then because we have got in early, it means that the impact is less severe for the client, and it means restoration is a lot quicker as well. Certainly learned a lot over the years as to what preventative measures you should put in place. Identifying the end users and ensuring that they have sufficient education and information at their disposal to identify phishing emails and ensure that they avoid them and move them to the deleted items. Most commonly Windows operating system, but increasingly now with Mac, and certainly with hardware devices such as your iPhone or your Android device, it's important to ensure that they're running the latest patches at all times. For a long time, we've all known that we needed antivirus on our computers. As the threat vectors have changed with regard to what we're receiving as end users, the actual products that now are on the market, more sophisticated and more aware of the threat vectors that are out there, and do a much better job now of stopping those. So in our experience, what we find is a lot of companies are aware of having a strong password policy, but inevitably they actually don't have a strong one implemented. And so by strong, we mean regular resetting. Length of characters should be a minimum of 8. Ideally, we should be resetting those every 90 to 120 days. And what we often find is, in fact, most clients, even when they implement a policy like that, a lot of accounts are set to never expire and to not to have to follow that policy. A lot of us are familiar with the bank and having to get a code to access our online banking. That technology is now available with almost all cloud platforms that businesses use, Salesforce, Office 365, Dropbox for Business. So we'd really encourage businesses to put that solution in place, and that just adds a little bit of extra protection and greater peace of mind to the solutions that they're using. Most people are familiar with an environment whereby on any machine they walk up to in their office, they can install applications at their own will. But from our experience, particularly with ransomware, those viruses and encryptions tend to rely on the actual machine and the user account the person's logged in with to have administrative rights to execute that payload. So we'd encourage all small businesses to ensure that they remove the local admin privileges for each end user and have a privileged account just for the administrator to install applications. Most platforms, they do have an inbuilt antivirus and anti-spam solution, but in our experience, it's not robust enough to pick up these advanced threats. So Microsoft, along with a lot of other third-party companies, do provide an extra layer of protection, which we encourage clients to look at implementing, just to ensure that they're doing everything they can to prevent those phishing emails from reaching their users in the first place. It's extremely important. Again, from our experience, we've found the encryption that users essentially release into their network through these phishing emails, it mostly covers, or targets I should say, the files that are on their file server, but in some rare cases the actual on-site backup files themselves are also encrypted. So in that scenario, the only way to recover the actual data is to go and get a copy of the backup that had been replicated to the cloud. And without that, in those instances, those clients would not have been able to recover their files. So cloud backup is really important. As we spoke with our clients who were experiencing the ramifications of an encryption, we actually realised that very few of them had a cyber insurance component to their insurance policy, and that leaves them exposed if they are to have loss of revenue, so that in the event of a disaster, they know that they're covered. So if your business is looking for peace of mind, systems availability, business continuity and cost containment, give us a call and we'd love to hear from you.